All right, buddy. Welcome to our new idea, the Locked In Podcast, episode 1.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna start things out by kind of explaining who we are. So my name is Braedon Vollmer. I go to college, UW Whitewater. Just driving truck right now for summer work, and I got a little golf channel that I've been locked in on, you could say. You know, I'm pretty dedicated to that, working hard, trying to go big. You know, just taking it 1 week at a time and just trying to stay persistent. That's how I'm locked in, I guess.
And speaking about your YouTube channel, it's been growing.
It's been going. It's been growing. You're right. Yeah.
Growing pretty good, steadily for the last couple times. Do we have that linked into our Locked In?
So it's on the featured channels on the YouTube. Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys go to our YouTube channel, which will be linked, I'll have that linked in the TikTok after the stream, but it's definitely worth checking out because we do a lot of fun stuff on there. I'm on there all the time, and he does a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of people.
Challenges, progression videos. I got even like a little golf podcast I started. I got a special guest hopping on soon, actually, a scratch golfer who's got a little show. He's hopping on my channel, and I'm going on his live show, so I got that lined up. So pretty cool things are planned with that as well.
And it's definitely worth going to take a look because I don't know. He posts weekly with working, going to school, everything else. Even during school year, he's still posting weekly, even through the Wisconsin winters that we have. So it's the consistency is there if you want to watch a good golf video or golf channel, and you have we're not pro golfers, so it's fun to come watch us play.
It's sometimes extremely relatable. One of my videos is the most relatable golf video on YouTube, so it's pretty relatable.
Which did pretty good actually.
Yep.
So and it was a fun video to film too.
And you got a hunting channel you're gonna be starting up soon or
Hopefully,
something like that?
I would like to. Huge passion is hunting, so it would be fun to actually film and incorporate hunting into a YouTube channel. Now I've been on and off YouTube channels since I was like 11 years old, so it's kind of just more so finding a passion that I like, going after it, and chasing it, which is what this podcast is really going to do to both of us.
I want to point out for those of you watching the YouTube video, if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you're not going to be able to see it, but in our little quote-unquote studio here, we got a flag up that says nobody cares, work harder, and that's kind of like a big kind of approach I have for a lot of things. You know, today's world isn't fair, right? And like, it's gonna beat you down. Logan said to me, you get knocked down 8 times, you get up 9. You know, you gotta stay locked in. Nobody cares what you're going through at the end of the day. Some people they do, but like, you know, nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. So that's why you gotta keep your head to the grindstone, keep going, stay locked in. You know, that's that.
Yeah, the only thing that is going to come out of you not doing it is regret. I mean, at the end of the day, we've been going back and forth with. I've been helping Braedon a lot with his golf channel over past 6 months to a year.
Tremendously too.
Yeah, and it's just I have a passion for YouTube, and obviously he does too. So it's like. But our passion isn't driven by money. It isn't driven by fame. It's something we like to do. We like to put relatable content out there, something that people can go to if they're having a bad day or whatnot.
Just enjoy it too.
Just have a good time.
Exactly.
So there's
By the way, any of you on the TikTok live, if you want to bounce into our conversation or anything, feel free to comment down below, and we're looking at the comments right now, both of us. So just there's that.
So it's kind of a thing that I brought up to Braedon like this week, having a live viewership podcast, because some people on YouTube cut some stuff out of their podcast. Well, I think a podcast should be all raw footage, raw cut. So if you guys ever have anything to chime in, or any ideas or talking points or things you guys want to know, chime in. And for the YouTube viewers, if you want to be able to watch us live, you're going to have to go ahead and follow our social medias. Right now, my TikTok account is the only one that we'll be going live on because it's the only one we can. But we would like to go live eventually on the Locked In podcast live as well.
1,000 followers?
So yeah, we need 1,000 followers on the Locked In podcast.
So you know where to go.
TikTok.
Link in description.
But I definitely think seeing it live is a cooler thing than seeing it
Yeah, no, I think for sure, because like then it's
So-
like you're almost having a conversation with
Yeah.
us, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and stuff like that.
So you guys are actually here with us,
Yeah.
talking with us, asking us questions. So it's not just us talking the whole time.
And going back to Logan's point, you know, this podcast that we're starting up, like, as for like why we're doing it, right? Like, you know, he said we want to inspire people. We want to show you, you know, how to stay focused in today's world and stuff like that. But like also, like we feel like there's nothing else really like this. You know, if there is, you know, show it my way. But like this is a raw conversation. I feel like extremely normal guys right now.
Mhm.
You know, like we're not distracted. We're not, you know, blown away by proportions from anything else. Like we're just normal human beings who are locked in and just trying to get the most out of life right now.
Yeah,
On the
absolutely. Yeah, it's just I've always had a passion for just reaching out to people and talking to people and whatnot. So like coming to a podcast where we're filming it and showing you every day that me and him both work full-time jobs, and he goes to school full-time throughout the season. But it's just like I work every single day, most of the time from like 7 a.m. until
You get done late sometimes.
sometimes I get done late. So it's just like being able to still show people that you can still work toward a dream goal and work full-time and do that kind of stuff is definitely doable.
Yeah.
So
Well, I literally got done with work today. I got back to my truck. I work like 20 minutes away from where I live. Logan texted me, leaving my house in 5 minutes. I saw he sent that like 10 minutes ago. I'm like, damn. Like I was gonna get home. I was gonna eat some. I was gonna shower, but no. You know. So pushing that back to a little later, which is fine.
yeah.
You know. But really, a big thing, especially when doing things like this during the week, when you're working full time and you have that much commitments, like you can't waste your time.
No.
You gotta use your time wisely. And like I'm a very firm believer that you do need to give yourself a break and have like something separate from what you're doing, because if you're doing it 24/7, that's not healthy. But you gotta push beyond the limits. Like nobody cares work harder. That flag again, like it's not gonna be easy, especially when you got those big commitments already. And that's another thing too. Like why I work. That's why I'm working so hard right now. I'm in college. Like yes, I got schoolwork, but yes, I have more free time than I do right now. When I'm working 45 hours a week, and then I get home, I got 4 hours, if that, and then I got a life outside of that too. I got to work through too.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to deal with, but it's possible.
Yeah.
It is
absolutely.
possible.
It's definitely never ending grind, because there's some days I get off of work and I text Braedon and I'm like, hey, just so you know, I set a tea time for us in 15 minutes. So basically jump into some new clothes and get to the golf course.
Well,
We hold each other accountable pretty high.
That's what you
highly,
need.
So
Well, what was it 2 weeks ago? Actually, this video is actually just being dropped this next Monday on my golf channel, so tune in. I told Logan to make the tee time no later than like 6:15, and then he called the course like 18 minutes away, and he's like, "Yeah, the tee time's 5:45." I'm like, "What?" So I scrambled. I got there in time, and I feel it's a really authentic video idea. We're not gonna tell you what it is, so tune into my channel Monday. I think you know what it is.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
yeah. So tune into my channel on Monday at 3:30 Central
Yeah.
Standard Time.
I think it's gonna be a good video.
Yeah,
I've never seen anyone do that, and it's his idea. He came up
Yeah.
with it. Granted, I did get really sick that night.
You did.
Later that night, and you can see it wearing off on me on the golf course.
Dehydration.
But yeah, I got severe dehydration, and it just didn't turn out well.
Yeah.
But going on for, like, we just think it's so important to have a
You keep going.
group of, like, with me and Braedon, I think it's just really important that kids our age, or young adults our age, get out there and speak on different behalfs of where our heads at, just worldwide sense. We're both religious, both have views in Christianity, and I would like to get a guest that I have in my head right now. I won't make it public yet because I haven't asked, but it'd be pretty cool to have him on the podcast. He's in school, studying to be a pastor, and I know we have similar beliefs in that. So I just think it's important that kids our age and just anyone watching gets out and speaks about it and shares the good news, because we're not all here forever.
No.
We got limited time here, so
I feel in today's world a lot of people take for granted, you know, all the gifts that the good Lord gives us and stuff like that. I feel in today's world that God is not recognized as much as he should be, and I think it's very easy to get distracted. I mean, my first year at college, I'm going to be a junior in the fall. My first year at college, my whole first semester, and I used to, when I was back home, go to church every Saturday with my dad. If we'd maybe miss, 1 week out of every 2 months, if that, right? But like, I get my first year freshman at college, I didn't go to church hardly ever there. And like, it took me a second. Like, I was just sitting down one day, I had to sit back and like, man, what happened to me? Like, I'm getting lost here. And in college, there's a lot of distractions. If you're not there yet, and you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about when you get there. There's a lot of distractions in college, and I had that kind of realization. From the point after that, started going to church every Sunday morning. Yeah. And after that, I lost my faith, and then when I found it again, it was stronger than what it was before, and I haven't lost it since.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always gonna be ups and downs with religion, and how you view it, and if you're there or not. But I strongly encourage you to, like, if you're going through a rough part in your life or whatever, to sit down in the morning and just read. I have the Holy Bible app on my phone, and Braedon asked me about it this morning because I send him the daily verses, and just going in there, reading the daily verse, getting a piece that you can actually go in and study and look at the context and write a journal about or write notes about. And I think that's super beneficial, and it definitely helps you through the day, and just knowing that there's always someone there looking over you. And there's always hope that if you don't make it through the day, if something ever happens to you, that there's somewhere better to go to.
Well, he has a plan for you, like, he's got a plan for you, and like, you have a purpose in this world, and God knows it, whether it seems clear or not. Like, they're just saying, I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's like, I asked God, and he gave me a process. Nothing's gonna be given directly to you, but like, if you talk to the Lord, you pray to him, it may seem like it's not working, but he sets these events in action. Like, everybody has free will, but like, absolutely, God speaks. I'm a firm believer that God speaks to you through other people, because that's the way he can, so.
And I think a lot of it too is, I heard this from the George Janko show, which is a huge podcast show that I like to watch. I encourage you guys to listen to it too, just during your workday, workouts, whatever. I love his stuff, but he is a firm believer in speaking things into existence. If you consistently tell yourself that you can do it, you're going to do it, you can accomplish it, you will end up getting there. Because we're all made in God's images. Well, God spoke us into his image when he created us. So if we're made in his image, we can also speak things into existence in our lives through him. So I think that's also super important to take into consideration. Is if you're having a bad day and you're telling yourself, man, this day sucks, I just want this day to be over, that day's going to feel terribly long. I know we're all victim to that, where the day just keeps seeming to drag on, and never get better. But if you tell yourself, like, hey, just 3 more hours, just 2 more hours, it's gonna get better. It will get better, because there's always a storm before the calm. So
no, exactly.
That's how I think of it.
Manifestation is huge in today's world, and like, if you do it the right way, like. I gotta get better at it personally, but there was a good stretch in college. It's called the 3-6-9 method, and every morning I wake up and I'd write just a goal of mine 3 times, and then at lunchtime when I got back from classes, I'd write that same goal down 6 times. Then right before I go to bed, I'd write that goal down 9 times, and then after writing it down 9 times, I'd read it 9 times. And if you manifest that, it basically means it's always in your mind and stuff like that. So it can be a religious goal. It can be a personal goal, anything. It could be a goal for your workplace, whatever. But I feel like goal setting is huge in today's world, especially when you have like kind of like pair that with like your religion, because like you pray for God to lead you and bless you with these things that you want to work for, and surrounding yourself with the right people that God puts in your world is going to lead you there.
And you have to be careful, because like who you're being put in, who's being put into your life and why, because the devil will also put people in your life to try and tear you down, to stop you, and to stop you from chasing the path that God has for you. So it's really important to evaluate who you're being friends with. When are you going out? Who are you going out with? What are you guys doing when you go out? And like Braedon can attest to this, neither of us really go out and do anything. We don't drink, smoke, nothing. So it's like we are always grinding on everything. He holds poker night at his house on Friday nights.
I'm a casual drinker.
It's more of a social thing.
Yeah, I'm a casual social drinker.
So it's like, but we don't really do much. Like, we're filming videos, working, thinking about new content ideas, or what can we do to grow in this way. So
you gotta sacrifice. If you're gonna go somewhere above average and farther beyond what the average life is, you gotta sacrifice something that the people in the average life do, because you're not gonna have the time to do both. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And
so
I actually, coming from the live, MD made a very good point, saying that you have to have faith in God first and foremost, but then you have to have faith in yourself that you can achieve anything. I mean, anyone, any being, doesn't matter who you are, disabled, not disabled, you can literally achieve anything. I mean, you can see some of the bigger stars in the world, and some of them do have disabilities, but they use it to their advantage. So,
but look at Sketch.
Yeah, like Sketch. So he's not autistic, but he's very anxious, and he made that a good thing.
Well, I don't know if a lot of you know, but Sketch, he actually, I forget what this was on, but anyways, I saw it was this one show, and they kind of asked about his blow up and stuff, and you know how he kind of just appeared out of nowhere. And Sketch said that he said a prayer, and he basically said, like, God, I want to be happy. You know, I want to change my life. I just want to be happy. And he answered me like crazy. That's exactly what Sketch said. So, like, there you go. That literally proves it right there. Sketch, he prayed, and he was answered.
Yeah. And it's not the same for everyone else. It's like you can't just pray and expect to be answered. Because your path might be different from someone else's. But God definitely saw Sketch as someone that could help, entertain, heal broken people, and he blew up. I mean, it was... I remember sitting in bed, and I was talking to my girlfriend, and I was scrolling through YouTube. We just got done watching Braedon's stuff, or we were going to watch Braedon's stuff, and a video from Sketch popped up, and he had like 150 subs, and he had like 25 views on his video. Well, I clicked on it just because I was wondering who this Sketch guy was that popped up on my thing, and it came out of, like, it was so weird because I looked there, I said, he's going to be famous and he's going to be used somewhere in the social media industry, and like 6 months later I came back and he was one of the biggest stars ever. So
Ashley has a good point there. And if you ask God to provide for you in life, he might do it in a way you least expected it.
Yeah, exactly. It's you might not know what, like, if you pray for something and ask for something to be given to you, you might not know that it was already given to you. You're just not looking for it. So it's really important to open your eyes, or ask for him to open your eyes as well, to be able to see what he's trying to show you, direct you, and the things that he's given you, because sometimes you can't always see it. So I think it's very important to have that relationship. But yeah, and I just think it's, it's just important to always stay locked in, like our name on the channel, and not give in to worldly possessions and money and fame, and to always be on that grind 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Like, don't ever give up. Don't slack. Don't.
Society today guides you in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
Society today guides you in the wrong direction. I mean, just look at how easy it is to fall accustomed to bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like we're living, by chasing our dreams and stuff. We're doing this, trying to inspire other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like we're living a pretty good life, and like, look at how much harder. And I'm not saying it's hard, but like, we gotta like work extra for it. And like, it's so easy in society today, just to be like, oh man, I don't feel like doing this today, or I don't want to go to church this evening. I don't want to wake up early to go do this. Like, and all of a sudden, you keep having days like that. Where the hell are you?
Yeah. So, it's, I don't know. It's important, but I was reading one of our live viewers, Ashley here. She's actually going on a mission trip next week, and she had scrolled across this first episode of our podcast on accident, and she's been needing encouragement. And I think that's pretty cool, but I think it is really cool that you're going on a mission trip. I would like to really do that one day. Besides, I want to find the right mission group to go with. Whether that be the Lord gives me enough money to go out and go do a mission trip in Africa or in any of those other countries, or if I'm with a church or with a mission group that's specifically going out there to help. I think it would be really cool, and I give you huge props for doing that, because it could take a mental toll on you. I mean, you're going to a completely different country most of the time. Sometimes you're doing it around this country, because this country needs it sometimes too, probably more than others think. But you're away from your family, and everything that you're doing is to glorify God, and that it could definitely take a toll on you, because you don't know anyone. You're in a completely different culture, and you're trying to help change people's lives for the better and give them supplies and things that they don't necessarily have, that we Americans take for granted. So, and like she said, she goes to Texas, and it's mostly a Hispanic group that she deals with, which would be kind of hard for me, because sometimes, like, I can understand some Spanish. And I don't know if you can, but sometimes when I can't speak someone's language, it's hard to communicate. Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
And I'm a very, very patient guy 99% of the time. But being able to, I want to learn Spanish so bad.
I took 3 years. I took 3 years of it in high school, bro, and I can't speak one fluent sentence. It's been a minute since I've done it, but.
And the only Spanish I can really speak, I used to work in the fast food industry 2 years ago, and I could take full orders in Spanish. Like, if someone was speaking to me in Spanish, I could take their full order. Responding to them was so-so, but I do really want to learn Spanish, and I encourage a lot of people in America to learn Spanish, since it is our second language here.
What's that? Sorry. I gotta lock back in.
There's so much stuff.
There's so much stuff going on. Okay.
And for the first episode, this is actually this is like a whole lot of screens everywhere, cameras. And
So I want to bring it back to so we were talking about religion and stuff like that, and I want to kind of touch on more about like how I know we touched on it earlier, but I want to touch on it more about like how we're going to apply it to chasing, like how we inspire people with this podcast, or like how we just inspire people in general, and stuff like that. I feel a lot of people, for their religion, all they need is just like an opening door to it. Because so many people just think, oh, religion, like what even is it? But like they don't even know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this is a good kind of outlet to that, but then also taking that and applying it to try to live these above average lives and try to separate ourselves from.
And showing too that if we would make it to the top one day, if that is our plan, if that is God's plan, it's important to show that you can still live a Christ-based life and also have money and fame and
be happy,
not fall into drugs and alcohol, partying and clubbing and all that stuff. So it's important that we always stay to our religious beliefs, no matter what. Because just as fast as it was given to you, it can be taken away.
Exactly.
Same with your life. So I strongly encourage anyone that is listening live that does like what we're speaking about to follow my TikTok account, the one that you're watching right now, and I will have the locked in YouTube linked into my TikTok so that you guys can go watch these live and listen to them if you would like to outside. But I think that we have a lot of good ideas for guests on here as well, and I don't think every episode is going to be guests. I think a lot of it's going to be me and him talking, brainstorming ideas, things that we see on the media that we can ask your guys' opinions about or talk on our behalf on our opinions on certain things. And I don't know, I think it's just good to have, especially if you're a younger audience watching, I think it's important and good to have younger guys showing our worldviews and saying why we think it's important to follow certain things. And coming back to the faith thing, there's so many young Americans our age and in the anywhere between like 16 really and 30 that I've seen in today's society coming to Christ with the struggle that this country's going through and after the COVID recession and all that. I see a lot of people coming to Christ asking for help, and I see a lot of good Christian work happening around the country.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, I guess so. Like, this is the first episode of our podcast that we're doing here, and you know what to expect in the future. Like, any of you watching, whether you're watching it live or on YouTube or wherever you're watching, leave a comment. Like, leave some ideas for us to talk about too. But like, I know we're gonna talk about like how to start the side hustle, how to not get distracted in today's society. That's just a few ideas that we had. But like, this is gonna kind of be like your weekly show to just kind of make sure you're staying in the right path. You know what I'm saying, and not getting distracted, not losing yourself in society today because it's so damn easy to get distracted.
And I think it's cool. I think it's cool that what we're doing with our viewers is we're holding you accountable just as much as we hold each other accountable. So we're going to be coming in every week with a new video on certain things like Braedon touched on with how to start side hustles or whatever it may be, and whatever you guys want to see. Like Braedon said, please put that in the comments because it'll help us out a lot,
actually.
But it's like every week we're going to be coming back and holding you guys accountable. We don't know what days these are going to be posted on yet. No. I don't think. We haven't talked about that. We'll figure that out today.
I got something to say about that. Okay. But do you want me to say it? Okay, I'll just say it right now. I'll be honest. Do I know how to upload a podcast? Nope. Not at all. No. But there's a saying, start before you know how. So that's exactly what we're doing right here. So.
We don't know anything about podcasts, and I just thought it was a cool idea to bring up the live show.
Yeah, that's actually
for the podcast, because I don't know anyone in the entire social media world that does this. And I thought it would be cool just to be able to react to you guys, and you guys being able to react live. And also, if you guys don't want to watch it on YouTube, you can always come and watch us live. Yeah. Where there's zero cuts, we can't cut this, and you will see all of our mistakes. There's nothing we can hide on a live show.
Well, even when I edit this for YouTube, I plan on leaving it raw.
Yeah, the only thing you're gonna see cut is, well, you're not even gonna see it because it's at the very beginning when Braedon's turning the camera on and walking.
Literally turning camera on, walking over here, getting up, turning the camera off.
That's the only thing.
Hey, I'm gonna check it again and make sure it's still running. This is a little bit of a test run here, So we're golden.
Okay.
But like, going to that start before you know how thing with YouTube, I've been doing my little golf channel for say a year and a half now, like consistently. I started in 2022, hence the since 2022 on my merch here, right? But when I started, I had no idea what I was doing. Absolutely no idea. Okay, guys, I have no idea where that we have no idea where that cut out, but we just learned that my camera shuts off after 30 minutes of recording, so we're gonna work around that. So I hope you got a meaningful, piece out of this recording. Tune into our TikTok live stuff, whatever. But as always, be sure to stay locked in. Peace.